Right, warriors are very easy, especially with the Zul'Gurub trinket, so I'm gonna drop my Fire Nova, so if he rushes into it, it blows up. I Strong Strike, Earth Shock. I might start healing. He might interrupt me, he might not. I'm gonna put down... Oops, okay, so... Okay, I could have done better. I could have prevented him from running away and charging. If I had dropped Earthbind, if I had noticed he was doing that earlier, dropped Earthbind and maybe used PvP Trinket, I could have prevented him from getting enough range to charge, but warriors just really aren't a problem, so I wouldn't worry about them too much, like at all. But yeah, the reason I dropped Tremor Totem is because every now and then a warrior will do that Howling Terror or whatever that ability's called, and it fears you. You know, sometimes I drop Earthbind, sometimes I drop Tremor. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll drop Earthbind and then use a PvP trinket and make the warrior think I'm trying to kite. And then the warrior tries to like back off. And I think he switches over into Fury mode so that he can intercept. But I'm just feigning the kiting thing. So I turn around and then start running after the warrior again, so I kind of like, I think I'm like wasting a bit of his rage and wasting some of his time by making him think he's going to be able to intercept me. Maybe I can demonstrate that. Alright, here we go. Whoa! Alright, so doing everything as normal. Earthbind, I run away, and they don't seem to be falling for it. Oh, there they go, there they go. See, I'm trying to maintain this distance so that they don't... so they can't intercept. I don't know very much about the warrior class, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a big waste of their time and rage when you do that to them. Here's a trick. You can drop a Searing Totem and then run away from a warrior, and that'll put him in combat. They don't like it very much, though. I'd say with rogues, if you're fighting a good rogue, it's important to have some kind of shield trinket on. Burrower Shell, if you can get it. Because look how much damage they do. I mean, this person's kind of like cheating by using a bunch of crap. But still, like, if a rogue's well geared enough, like, just to survive, you're gonna need... Oh, that's great. Just to survive, you're gonna need a lot of stuff. A lot of health. It's good to fight a rogue in Ghostwolf form, so that way they can't do this long combo where they sap you at the end. If you manage to grenade a rogue, that's a good time to get a Storm Strike on them. Because otherwise they're probably just going to dodge it or something. So this rogue I'm fighting is very aggressive, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to PvP trinkets, so that way I can immediately break out of their first stun, and then start getting some, some lightning shield hits in. And you see here I've Stoneclaw Totem down, so that way they can't kill it. Well, they probably won't be able to kill it in time, and then sap me. Priests are very much about your Tremor Totem. If they're good at wanding your Tremor Totem, then they can beat you, especially if they have improved mana burn, which I don't think Shadow Priests typically have. I'm not sure about that. But the priests who do have improved, Shadow Burn, or not Shadow, Mana Burn, those guys are really hard. When they fear you, and they kill your totem, and then they start Mana Burning you. sometimes you kind of just have to spam your totem a bunch, because like, to like confuse them so they don't kill it. That didn't go well. Nice. Okay, so this is normally what a good priest is like. Well, he didn't really... But yeah, they do that, and it's a big deal. It's really tough to beat them when they do that, and it becomes really about... Well, they're not really tough, they're just tough. And it becomes about timing and luck and stuff like that. And a lot of the fight has to do with luck. It has to do with Wind Fury luck, Tremor Totem luck, and also with purging luck. Like if you purge their shield. I think it's random when you purge someone. The buffs it takes off, I think it's random. I might be wrong there. But if you get lucky, then maybe the first time you purge it immediately takes off their shield, and then you get a good hit in on them. It's very luck based. It's actually really lame, but yeah. So to recap, Tremor Totem, you might have to spam it if they're killing it a bunch, but a good priest is probably going to fear you and then kill it. Purge when you can, throw some purges in there, and you know, you might need an Earthbind every now and then. Earthbind, and then quickly switch over to Tremor Totem. That way you don't waste your shock cooldown on Frost Shock, you know, if you get the chance to do that. Sometimes you don't get the chance. Sometimes they're kiting you and they're very far away, and you just have to Frost Shock them. Okay, so I had some duels against this Paladin, a bunch of them, and I wasn't really talking during it, so I'm going to retroactively talk now, and then I'm going to play those videos. So keep an eye out for what I do. When the Paladin bubbles and starts healing, that's when I turn into Ghost Wolf form, run away, and start eating / drinking. This is like the best strategy I can think of versus Paladins. Like it's just really good. And if you do it right, and if things go well, sometimes you can even get all of your health and mana back up, and then they might do the same. And that's kind of like resetting the fight, but this time they don't have bubble, which is awesome. And I also noticed something, it's also something they said while I was fighting them, is they pointed out that they can cleanse Storm Strike off them. And I noticed them do it at one point, but I didn't have my shock ready. And so something I just realized is that when fighting a Paladin, you shouldn't use Storm Strike unless you can immediately back it up with an Earth Shock. At least probably not, or else it's just going to do, you know, a regular hit, and then they're going to clean it, and then it's kind of just like a waste of mana. And Paladins can be a very mana-intensive fight. I mean, that's true with one-handers. If you have your two-hander out with Wind Fury on it, then Storm Strike is probably still worth using, even if they might cleanse it. But you should really be trying to set it up so that you immediately Earth Shock afterwards, or at least you have the chance to, so that way you get the bonus damage. Yeah. Another thing in the fights is you'll notice there's this dilemma between doing damage through shocks and also having a shock ready to interrupt the heals. So I don't know, keep that in mind while watching the following clips. What are you doing? Die, you bastard! Really? Jeez. Alright, mages. So, let's see here. I'm gonna interrupt that. Let's see what he does now. Yeah, polymorph. That's not surprising. Gonna get some melee in on him. He's probably gonna bandage. Yerp. I'm saving my trinkets for after I get out of polymorph. Because if I use them before, it's kind of like a waste. Because they just bandage or eat or whatever. So here we go. He's about to attack me with a big ol' attack. I'm going to try to grounding totem it. Nope, didn't do it in time. So, interrupt trinket, interrupt. What's he going to do now? I'm going to interrupt him or whatever and start healing. Oh, he got me. He got me. He's doing grenade. I can't do grenade. Let's try that. Oh, he got me. Alright, let's try that again. Where? Polymorph, fake cast. I'm gonna try to fight his fake casting, or his polymorph rather. Like, I don't want to let him polymorph me this time. You can see I'm playing around with my grounding totem and stuff. Like, I saw that I still had a grounding totem to use, so I went back to it instead of dropping a new one. So stuff like that can really help you out. Okay, so now he's gonna try to nuke me. I'm gonna try to spam grounding totem, so hopefully I can catch his first attack. Looks like no. Okay. Oh, he's using that stupid fur block thing. What if I can heal? Nope. Alright, this guy's a little slightly different playstyle from normal. I'm not really going to resist his attempts to, maybe I will a little bit. Yeah. I'm just going to let him sheep me. So that you can witness the second phase of this fight. Instead of me ending it in phase 1. Because normally you don't kill a mage before they sheep you. So let's see here. So the rub trinket. Where's that interrupt coming from? Or that stun, rather. It's really weird. He has like a super consistent stun he's using on me. It might be from his fire ability. For a mage like this, it would be a good idea to switch over to a shield trinket like Burwer's Shell, because he does a lot of damage in phase 2. There. I'm gonna try to fake cast them. Oh, looks like I did it. I did it. Stupid fur block crap. There's something you can do is, oh, well, I didn't do it quite right, but sometimes you can start running away from the mage in the middle of him trying to like sheep you. I was about to try doing it there, but I didn't time it right. But I can throw him off. You know, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try running away from this guy. See what happens. So he's probably gonna have to blink at me, which is that can be useful. Because now he can't blink when I get up close in his face. So this is... oh crap. This is how you fight a hunter, is you accept that this game is very imbalanced, and then you find the nearest line of sight and run to it. If you can get there in time. Jesus Christ. And then you just kind of sit there and you do what you can. Bandage, drink, put on new trinkets when you have to. Uh-oh, here they come. This hunter seems to be pretty good because they keep killing my totems. Jesus Christ. I think my tremor totem, not my tremor totem, my stoneclaw totem kept them from leaving combat. So that was a success. Alright, so now they're running away. See, this is what you have to do, because this game is very imbalanced, and these guys are one of your hard counters. Oh god damn it. Yeah, you better run. I'm gonna leave him with the flame shot. Throw on a new trinket or... Ah! You come... Go away! There I go with my stone claw totem again. See, it might actually survive an attack, right? Because it's stone claw. But now I'm out of mana. But look at their health. See, this is decent as far as fighting a hunter goes. Jesus. Oh, I guess I can't stealth against hunters. I'm gonna bandage up. Go away! Don't you do it! I would say this is actually going very well for a hunter fight. Oh, you know what? I haven't used my grenade. Damn it. My clear casting is lost. Okay, where do I want to go? Will I survive? You know what? I would say that's a really good fight, especially if I had self-res up, because then I could self-res and kill them. So that is what you do when you're fighting hunters. You don't chase after them, because you're just going to lose, probably, unless they're like really bad. So yeah, that's just part of the game, is accepting that it's imbalanced and learning how to address your hard counters the best you can. In the case of Enhancement versus Hunter, the way you deal with them, or try to deal with them, is you just take cover. Find cover anywhere and force them to come and fight you. And if they don't come and fight you, then that's fine. Then it's just a stalemate. You're no more obligated to go running after them than they are to come and fight you in your line of sight, or cover, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, now Soul Link Warlocks are another example of something that's incredibly hard to beat. I don't really have much advice apart from getting this trinket called Eye of Mome from AQ20. That's pretty much like a must. Oh, goodness, another resist. This server doesn't have Eye of Mome lying around, so I just get screwed. But what Eye of Mome does is it reduces their resistances to the point where I can actually land some spells on them and stuff. Ah, damn it. So yeah, when fighting hard warlocks, I would say Shadow Reflector is a must, even though they're probably going to whine at you. Yeah, see, I still lost. But yeah, warlocks, it really depends on their personal skill level and their spec. Some warlock specs aren't really that hard to beat. I would say destruction warlocks aren't necessarily that hard to beat. The sort of typical raid spec with SM Mastery or Ruin or whatever it's called, that's not necessarily that hard unless they're using a bunch of soul shards. Curse of Exhaustion warlocks are very hard, but my advice for them is the same advice I have against hunters, and that is basically just to take cover. Because that's really all you can do, because they can really, you know, a lot of people talk about enhancement getting permakited. Well, that's a case where you actually do get permakited. A lot of time, it's not really true. It's like a myth. Like, it's a myth that mages and druids are going to permakite you. That doesn't really happen. But Curse of Exhaustion warlocks really can. So you have to take cover. You can't just really chase after them. When fighting elemental shamans, it's usually an uphill battle. But what you need to do is you need to have your Searing Totem down all the time because it kills their Grounding Totem. It's a hard fight, and you also want to be spamming the Purge button when you think he's about to use Nature Swiftness. So yeah, elemental shamans are normally a lot harder than that. I don't know what was up with those two, but yeah, just to recap though, you're going to want to keep your Searing Totem down because it kills their Grounding Totem. I think it kills their Searing Totem too, and they're going to have Searing Totem down too because they want their Searing Totem to kill your Grounding Totem. So it's a lot of the fight is managing Searing Totem and Grounding Totem and Earth Shocking, and hopefully Earth Shocking at the right time. If they do a lot of fake casts, they're going to make you go that's very hard to deal with, and you want to spam Purge when you think they might be doing Nature Swiftness, and hopefully you catch it, because if you do catch it, you have a really good chance of beating them. But yeah. Okay, druids. Feral druids are really the only ones who will give you any trouble. I like to start off with my two-hander out so that I have a chance to do a lot of damage when they are still in cat mode. That guy doesn't seem very good. Some feral druids have nature swiftness, and they're very good at running away and healing and stuff. It's like a mana fight, they'll make you go, ooh. That's why I carry around this and this. I've never had to use them on the server though, but I found that having some mana regen helps a bit against those druids. Okay, so I'm fighting that druid again, and they just ran away successfully. So I'm eating and drinking. You have to do that a lot versus these feral druids who try to make you go out of mana. I haven't really decided if I like two-hand or one-hander more against feral druids, because they do have a lot of armor, but I don't know, one-hander just seems, or two-hander seems to do well for some reason.